Hey guys, it's me, Teresa Perrin. I just wanted to give you a stock that I think everyone needs to start paying attention to. And it's S is in Sava, Y is in Yankee, R is in Romeo, S is in Sava. And I use S is in Sava because I also love cassava science. And check out my tweet if you haven't already on Sava that I just put out. But let's talk about SYRS, SYRS Therapeutics, and why I think it's about to be an absolute banger. It has 45% short interest, no shares left to borrow, and there's a lot of positive catalysts that have been coming its way, yet it's been beaten down. And when I say beaten down, it has been beaten down extremely brutally over the past couple of years, and it's ready for this to rip to the upside. If you haven't already, please do me a favor and tap that like key, and I'd love it if you'd subscribe. Please remember that nothing I say is financial advice, and always do your own DD. So, SYRS, ticker SYRS, has had a decline of 87.63% in the past year, guys. Today, it underwent a 1-for-10 reverse stock split. So, for every 10 shares you own, you ended up with 1 share, and it initially dipped, which is the normal thing that you see, but then it started to trend up. And actually, I bought a small starter position of this at $4.95 this morning, and it was up 20-something% today to $6.05. So that was a pretty significant move, but I feel like this is just beginning to get started. So that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. And there's a lot of reasons why I feel that way. Guys, please keep in mind, this is a swing trade for me. There's lots of ways you can play this, but based on its price action and what I'm targeting, I am in this as a swing trade. And once I get confirmation, hopefully tomorrow, that the uptrend is going to continue, then I plan to be expanding my position. However, given the fact that it's been in a downtrend for so long, even though I see lots of consolidation in here, I don't want to get stuck holding this for several months while it continues to consolidate. But I do believe that the reversal is coming, which is why I started my starter position, which I am up in, but it's just a very small position so that I can monitor and see if I get that confirmation. And I'm okay with that. I don't need to get, 100% of the price movement. I don't need to target the bottom in a swing trade. That's the benefit of it. If the price actually keeps trending up, then I'm perfectly fine with that starter position, then adding to it on confirmation. And that's something that you guys need to consider in your trading as well, so that you don't get stuck in plays that, trade sideways, or that you don't want to be stuck in. So last week, SYRS shares soared because the FDA granted them orphan drug status to pancreatic cancer candidate. They're working with Roche, which is a huge drug company, in a study for pancreatic cancer with this drug. And actually, I think they may be using it for colon cancer, maybe with Roche. I'm not quite sure. There's more to it that I have to do some more digging on, guys. I only just started it and read about that quickly. But point being is, this is a huge opportunity, and potentially if they're working with Roche, the first thing that comes to my mind is that they have an amazing drug, which, let me tell you as an RN, pancreatic cancer is probably the worst cancer that you can get diagnosed with. It is extremely deadly, unfortunately. There's a horrible surgery called the Whipple that, it basically removes your pancreas, and it's not a very easily tolerated surgery with lots of side effects. Some people do well, but 5 years or less is the average lifespan, even with a Whipple. At least that's what it was years ago. I'm imagining it hasn't changed much since. I haven't studied it recently, but I don't see a reason why that would change. So guys, a drug that can help with pancreatic cancer and potentially cure it would be fabulous to have. And if this opportunity exists, then they can do extremely well. And, there's always a consideration that is Roche targeting them as a potential buyout. It's very possible. So, SYRS announced closing of merger with Time Technologies and concurrent private placement. So, if you see anything, about a share offering, blah, 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 please realize that they're talking about a private placement. I just have this gut feeling that if this starts to run tomorrow or sometime this week, that all of a sudden those lovely FUD articles that come out trying to stir the pot that tell half-truths are going to start talking about, the closing of an offering. Please realize it's a private placement. It does not affect, the stock's price. It doesn't affect anything other than the number of total shares they have, but not the free float, guys. And the free float is significantly smaller now because of that reverse stock split. So, like I said, SYRS Pharmaceuticals is a bioceutical company that's focused on redefining the power of small molecules to control the expression of genes. The company is engaged in developing treatments for cancer and diseases resulting from mutations of a single gene, also known as monogenic diseases, and building a clinical stage pipeline of gene control medicine. So, guys, I don't know if you've noticed or not in the market, but things that are, gene related or, CRISPR type things or stem cell research, but a lot of medical and especially genomics type plays are starting to come to life again, and they've been beat down very hard, so they're worth your while to pay attention to. And anyways, in the short term, Webull has given them a buy rating. As you can see, they had the reverse stock split today, which did the typical, because lately we've been seeing something strange where stocks automatically rocket right after a stock split. That is not the norm, guys. The norm is that the price dips and then, it finds its bottom, comes back up, which is what it seems to be doing today. And then we may see a slight run as shorts start to cover, but they're going to try to bring that down, which they did, to as low as possible because it's cheaper for them to cover. So now I'm looking to see whether it's reached its bottom at that 525 or whether it's going to continue a move to the upside. And like I said, it's not important to me to find a bottom every single time. I did buy this in pre-market, guys. It dipped down to 4 something because I got it at 4.95. So this candle is just showing you the during market hours movement. And if you follow me on Twitter, I did tweet that out, but I'll be updating you with a video. I was going to do it tonight, but probably tomorrow because I'm not feeling well at all, guys. And I've been sick the past week. So, I don't want to overdo myself, but I did want to bring the stock to your attention because I think it could go on a massive run. However, I am going to be cautious going forward, just so you're aware as to typing the symbols on Twitter, because I think the FinTwit community is being targeted by AI from the hedge funds. And come to find out, I'm hearing that other social media people that talk about stocks, influencers, whatever you want to call them, are also saying the same thing that they're finding. Because, guys, something to me that stood out is when I'm seeing something technically get diverted that shouldn't be where it is, and I'm starting to see this happen more and more, something makes me wonder why. Because, if you're good with technical analysis, yes, not everything technically plays out, but I'm starting to see certain things that are mentioned a lot in the FinTwit community, especially when it's about to run or is starting to run and then gets beat down hard. And I'm wondering if they're using AI now to target, looking for how many times certain names are tweeted out, blah, 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 just to get the momentum. And I feel that that could be used against us. And given what I've been seeing recently, especially with quote unquote meme stocks, I think that for a while, I don't necessarily want to call out every play that I see, especially ones that I feel could be in this category. So I will be doing a watch list going forward. I can't promise it'll be every day, especially until I'm feeling better. I thought I was on the mend, and then today back to a fever. So I can't promise you'll even have one tonight or tomorrow, but I will give you this drug, and I did this ticker, and I did another one that you can also watch. But anyways, let's get back to SYRS because there is more information. It is given a buy rating by the 6 analysts that have rated it. And guys, remember that these were updated times 10. So this was originally $3 to $19, but now because of the reverse split, it's $30 to $190 price target. That is a huge potential upside when we're trading at $6.08. I mean, you're talking about a 5 to a 31 plus X on your money should this go. And this is the price target for the next year. So the potential here is huge. And I really think that, this is something that you should be paying attention to. And now that we have that stock split, the free float is only 5.99 million shares, guys. That is so small. 52-week low is $5.25. Like I said, that pre-market, they do not count that. The 52-week high is $51.95. Now, another thing that I noticed today is that the volume was like 8 times what it normally is. It normally trades only 171.72 thousand shares. Well, today it traded 1.54 million shares on a much smaller free float, which tells me something's cooking, guys. Now, could it be shorts covering at the cheaper price? Yes, quite possibly, but also I think a lot of eyes are on this given its recent news catalyst, and they just continue to put them out. If you go and you look at recent news articles, you'll see that they've been doing a lot of great things. So it's only a matter of time. The short interest is currently 45.67%, guys. It is huge. Based on the massive amount of, volume that has come into the stock, it's only 0.85 days to cover technically, if the volume stays at that. But even today, 53.69% of trades in the dark pool were short volume. There are no shares available to short the stock. Guys, that's huge because that means it can run. It's very bullish. The cost to borrow is only at 4.18%. And as you can see here in the last 2 weeks, the low for the short volume ratio was 38.25. The high was 65.16. So today was right around average to maybe slightly less than average, 45.44% short volume ratio. And guys, this is not a short squeeze type candidate that I'm looking at this play for. I'm looking at this as the technical setup, the reversal, and I think that with the bullish catalyst coming, that hopefully the shorts are going to close out their positions and we're going to see this go long. I would like to see some filings. We did see that there was a filing, that private placement. They priced the cost per share at $5.08, which was more than what it was trading at the time. So that is very bullish, because if the company is willing to pay more that bought this private placement, then that tells me that they realize they're getting a great value at that price, or they wouldn't be doing that. So, like I said, you're not going to see a lot of FTDs in this play. 14,765 for tomorrow. That's not a whole lot. Although remember, there's 0 shares left to borrow. So they're going to get it at whatever someone's willing to sell at. And I don't know, where people bought in. I didn't look at that information. But I'm willing to bet that a lot of people are losing money on this play just because it's, at a 52-week low today. And I think that it's getting ready to hopefully turn around. But again, I just opened a starter position because I want confirmation. And being that, it is in a downtrend, you don't want to go all in right in the beginning. You want confirmation that this is actually reversing. But given that there's no shares left to borrow, anything bullish that comes out, I think we're going to see a nice run in SYRS. So keep it on your watch list. Thanks so much for watching.